What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Biblical Hitman. It's me, Steven. I'm here with Jesse and Taylor, and joining us is our good friend Joe yet again. Folks, if you're on the YouTube side of things and you follow us or you just come across the channel, please hit that subscribe button, like the show, share it with your friends if you haven't done so. Also, leave a comment down below about the things we're going to get into this episode. And you could also check us out on audio platforms, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. But Joe, welcome to the show, bro.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah. This ain't new, man. This ain't new. We've had you on a few times now, and it always is a lot of fun stuff. But for the people that don't know you, just tell us a little bit about yourself and where they can find you on YouTube.
Yep. I have a channel called Rebel to Redemption. Pretty much, I do reactions. I do just original content that comes off my top of my head and inspired by whatever is going on in my life, and it's faith-based, and check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out.
That's fun stuff.
Check it out.
You talk with me on the side and stuff, and you kind of go over some of our content and some of the things we kind of talk about, which is cool. You make some videos off of that stuff. I encourage everyone to go check those videos out. It's always good to kind of have an open mind with certain things especially when you have people on podcasts and guests, and everyone has their way of thinking. So it's fun. But dude, I was checking out on YouTube, and there's something that is a controversial kind of not video going around, but it talks about, I know we've talked about Micah Turnbo on this show in the past, and it seems to have a lot of interesting, he seems to be interesting. And if no one knows who Micah Turnbo is, he's like this guy who claims to be a prophet, and he seems, right?
He's like a chubby Andre 3000
He's
kind
like
of character.
a chubby Andre 3000. Yeah.
Definitely seems.
He's probably got a good
he's
sneaker
prophet.
game too.
Sorry.
Know what I'm saying?
The Christians will obey me. That's what he's trying. I'm like, dude, as soon as I heard that,
Well,
I was
I think he's a pastor as well. I don't know the church exactly. But he has an interesting take with his relationship with Christ. And there's a video I'm wondering if we can kind of play here.
Yeah. Run it.
full send, baby.
Yeah,
Run it.
We'll
send.
share this here. So check this out on YouTube, folks, if you're on the audio side of things. All right, so this is what's this guy's name here?
Good old Mike Winger.
Mike Winger.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's
winging
cool.
the mic.
He he breaks down a lot of Christian content, and so he's kind of reviewing this from a Christian perspective and what he thinks of it. So this is interesting.
Yeah, because some people are like, maybe he didn't make it because of his sins and stuff. So he's like, no, he's there. Micah also teaches Judas is in heaven. He teaches that as well. I don't even think I don't have a clip on that.
We talked about that in this show, actually.
Yeah.
Right? Remember that?
With
Yeah,
Joe.
we did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I
We
remember
went. We went off the deep end with that one.
that. we sure
we
did.
did. I'm wondering if Mike has
complicated
like,
topic.
It is.
Yeah. I'm wondering if Mike has like a alternative view other than that right there from what Micah said. But we came down to some conclusions which
He teaches.
I think we're Holy Spirit led. So
You have no idea. There's just throw a rock and you've got a vision and a teaching and something that's not from Scripture that Micah has learned through his special revelations. Absolutely. He just put a video out a few days ago on Facebook where he says, I never elevate my revelations above Scripture. You sort of do in practicality because you have teachings that you have based upon.
I'm trying to find where he talks about his relationship with Christ. Hold on a second.
He's going to talk about them doing a chariot race in heaven and how Micah wants to witness and watch the chariot race in heaven. It's just more infantilization.
I was walking through heaven with an angel, and there was a chariot race going on. And Jesus was in the chariot race, and there were these chariots going across the sky. And I was like, is that David? And they were chariot racing in the sky, and Jesus was part of the race.
Is that David?
This is what he thinks.
Yo, that's a lot to unpack.
Jesus is part of a chariot race in heaven.
Oh, so
Now, some of you are thinking, Mike, I don't even need you to explain this to me. I got it. Move on. And others are thinking, that could happen, Mike. That could, It could.
Yo,
We'll give it.
I'm sorry. This episode's not meant to troll anybody,
Yeah.
but I do find it interesting. So he's on a podcast, probably a decently sized platform, if not a big platform, right? So
Oh, he gets a lot of traction and a lot of eyeballs, and he's in a lot of places. So
Yeah.
people just can't get enough of his. He's very genuine when he speaks
Yeah.
about it.
You know
and
what-
he's
Right, 'cause
extremely.
It reminds me of those
psychotic.
TikTok people that are just like, God told me, or I had a vision. You know, I'm like, oh, okay.
Right,
Like, let's
right.
test the spirits then, big boy.
yeah,
Like, you know,
I think this is where the meat is here. So hold on here.
meaty
Solomon's
greedy.
beautiful. Dave was beautiful. They're all very, very, very beautiful. Adam and Eve are beautiful, gorgeous. And
All right, so Mike's saying that basically, Micah is in his posts, whenever he talks about people in the Bible, he's always relating to them as being beautiful.
Mm.
Beautiful. There's always like this visual.
I
he's very vivid on it.
started to look into this a little more deeply, and I found out some stuff that I think is concerning, and I'm just gonna share it.
You can touch God the Father. I know what he feels like. I know what his hands feel like. He has hands, he has feet. Eyes are beautiful. I mean, his eyes are beautiful. Solomon is beautiful. He's very handsome, and Jesus is very handsome, stunning, handsome, stunning.
All right, thoughts, boys.
Okay, I'm just gonna go out and say you can't
Yes.
say any other man how you know what they feel like
Yeah.
in conversation.
That's
It's
what-
just not something you can ever say. You can't do that. Whether it's right or not, you're just not like, I know what this guy feels like. What?
Yeah, that's a little,
It's
a little on
Right.
the.
that's heavy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take
it's a
I'm
little
gonna take a
fruity.
wild guess and assume that Micah's gay.
Now
I don't know
think
what
he
gave
might
that
Used
away.
to be.
He used to
Okay,
be right. Yeah.
Oh,
I can see
he
that.
used to
I can
be,
see
all
that
right,
now.
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
that explains a lot.
Beautiful, strong. So Adam and Eve, they were beautiful. I
Does it-
mean, just beautiful.
Does it look okay? Does the stream look fine? Yeah. Can you see it?
As long as Micah's on there, it's looking fine.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh.
my
That was awesome.
goodness!
Yo, dude, I need to get a sound
Joe.
thing here.
Yeah, you
where I can
do.
start
We
making
just
some
need to-
sounds because
Joe's starting to act like Micah.
Joe's in. Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh, good-looking people.
Good looking people. Michael's beautiful.
My God, bro, you said like beautiful like thousands of times.
Beautiful,
already.
beautiful, beautiful. Talks a lot about this. And in doing this, oh man, so let me share some stuff he
Mike
said.
is doesn't know what to do, dude.
Homie's on a sick one, dude.
This is from his website where he talks about his relationship with Jesus and how intimate it is.
Oh,
This is public teaching, okay? This is not some private thing. I share this response to it because it's so public. He says, I gently fell into his chest, Jesus, and he held my face close to his lips. He looked into my eyes and his lips touched mine as he spoke. I created man for intimacy, Jesus tells him. Jesus pulled my head towards him for a gentle kiss, showing me the entire universe in just a few seconds.
oh,
Again, as Jesus pulled my lips away from him, they were moist.
Make it stop.
Oh my gosh,
Oh
dude.
my- Bro,
This
help
is
me, dog.
rough, dude.
This is
making
this
me
is rough. I feel like
cringe,
I'm reading
bro.
something I shouldn't right
Yeah, but
now.
how
what are
do
you
we
doing
know?
to me right now? What
I'm
is going
sorry.
on?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Why does he
guys.
say moist?
I had to bring this up.
Who says moist, dude?
He says moist, dude. Dude, I know someone that'll punch you in the face because you say
for
that.
real though, dude. Like,
Um,
bro, this is
know
getting
someone
like.
that'll punch you in the goodness.
I feel like I'm reading some like erotica thing right now, and this is just like, bro, this is not how you describe Jesus, bro. Like,
this is not. Yeah. What's
Ugh.
going on here, man? Someone has to be questioning this in the church.
Something's
Did you
Someone-
read the bottom
someone-
line?
I put my
The bottom
hands around
highlighted-
Jesus' hips and laid my head down on shit, bro.
This is
Oh
this
my
is
God.
nasty. This is
Thank you.
inappropriate.
That's what I'm
He says, I put my hands around Jesus's hips and laid my head on his chest.
saying. Oh,
Here's more from his blog. Jesus gracefully pulled me away so I would look into his eyes again. Jesus placed his right hand on my face so that I would feel him before everything faded away. I returned to my bed, looking towards the ceiling. My lips were still moist from Jesus's kiss. I ask you, when was the last time you kissed the Son? This encounter is for everyone. Of course, the kiss the Son phrase comes from Psalm 2, and it's about like when a king kisses the foot or the ring of another king to say, I obey you. Maybe a cheek kiss in a culture where that's normal for men to do. This is not an intimate
Moist
lovers kiss type thing. That is inappropriate. That is homosexual. That is sinfully wrong.
Gee, I couldn't have figured
This
that
is from
one.
Micah's Facebook
Oh,
page. He likes to post these pictures, AI pictures that represent him and Jesus.
Oh no, bro.
He says, and I
Oh,
quote
do you
from
see
his
this,
Facebook
guys?
page.
All right. Anyways,
"Behold
for the
wonder."
people that are on audio, this is an AI generated image, an expression. It's not specifically Micah himself, but it's something he posted to where it's a guy who's how would you
Nuzzling.
describe that, guys?
Nuzzling. They're nuzzling.
Yeah,
They're
Nose
nuzzling.
nuzzling.
The noses are
Some-
touching.
Some
folks.
Eskimo kisses going on here.
And the foreheads are touching, and it looks like
It's looking pretty fruity.
it looks
It's a-
fruity.
it-
Where's
Not in
that
a
other
good
guy's
way.
hand at?
Yeah,
See,
it's
that's
Where's
a
the
gone.
good
other guy's
question.
hand at?
Grabbing
in the
That's a good
sleeve.
question. That's a good
Yeah.
Yeah.
question.
Where's his
gone.
hand?
I don't know, bro.
This
See,
is-
used to be gay. I don't buy that. I'm sorry. Like, hopefully he's not. But the way he's
All right.
describing stuff is just
That's
like,
crazy. Anyways,
next
It
level.
looks
that's
very current.
yeah, very current, dude. So
yeah.
we're just gonna call it ace and ace.
My
Right there.
thing is he's been on a lot of platforms, man, dude.
Right.
And a lot of people listen to
Has
what he
he?
says, dude.
But-
He's been on a lot of platforms, man.
But
He's
here's-
been on the deep end. He's been on plenty of big podcast. Sorry, the deep end.
So
right?
it's
But,
funny, man. It's
it is. Shout out to that. That's a big podcast. But
Deep
this is
waters.
crazy, man. How is this guy getting around and
Oh, he's
and this is the things
The innuendos don't stop.
killing me.
I
They
can't-
just can't stop.
I can't with this.
How is
I
this
can't
guy
even say
getting
what I wanna say.
around?
Voice kiss. Oh gosh, Lord help.
It's
us.
crazy, boys.
Dude,
Oh,
I don't-
my.
this is some next level
I don't-
demonic stuff, dude.
The church is getting wild.
But they're see, you know what I've noticed? They're embracing, and I'm gonna go out and say this very carefully, but they're embracing this kind of fruity-ish mentality with Christianity, and you can just absolutely not do that. I can see. I have personal friends that have recovered from that lifestyle, that have nothing to do with that lifestyle anymore, or anything the appearance of that lifestyle. To describe Jesus and the stuff you're going through with that, it's almost blasphemous, bro. Like, I can't even listen to that for like 5 minutes and just like not think it's not blasphemous, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I tripping? I don't know.
No, I don't
No,
think you
it's very unsettling when you hear
Yeah.
it, and if you have any sort of like heterosexual base to you, and you have some sort of masculinity, it's a little odd.
Yeah. That's
I would
toxic
say.
masculinity. You're just not comfortable with your sexuality. Like, that's what they would say. You know,
Yeah.
that's what they're
I would
saying.
not feel comfortable with him in the room at this point. Really?
I really wish we could have him on the podcast.
I
Right
know.
now.
We need to get him on.
Well, we probably
We need to
could
get
get
him
him on the podcast. I mean, that'd
Might
be
be a short
interesting.
episode,
But
yeah.
he'll be going on and he'll say like, "Yo, this angel appeared to me right before your show, and we had lunch together." And I'm just like, "Oh my gosh,
And then we kissed each other on the moist
don't know.
lips.
Dead, right? Yeah,
I
this
don't
is-
know."
What if
I
he was like,
mean,
there's a demon right behind you,
Right?
Steven?
Yo, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I see him.
right? I know. Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
That would kind of
Jeez.
freak me out,
I
though, a
know,
little bit,
bro.
honestly, just a little bit. Even though I know it's a little sus, the whole thing.
We'd have
but-
to start the podcast off with a big prayer, man. I'm telling you, because that I do want to get him on the show. I just want to hear all.
You don't want to get him on the show. Just
It'll be a
stop
short
saying that.
show, but I want to see
Let's
how
not
much
do
he's
that.
gonna like try to vindicate what he's talking about. I don't know. Once again, we're not talking hate about this guy, but we're just trying to see it, dude. It's not
Yeah.
lining up. It's not lining up, and we got to test the spirits. And clearly,
We
something's
definitely
not
don't
adding up.
hate the guy,
Right,
but he's a weirdo.
It's hilarious when you play it like that. Like, it's
Yeah.
hard for me to not
Not
laugh.
oh yeah,
Like,
dude.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like make
Yeah,
fun
nobody's
of him.
making
It's
fun,
just
but it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
And I don't think any of the things he was saying was taken out of context. I think the
No.
context was there. Context
highlight was
stated.
there,
It
bro.
was even in a it was expressed in a photo.
Yeah.
That
AI
and
photo
we
is
didn't
really
even
nice.
get to the next photo. There's
Oh,
like
gosh.
multiple photos, folks, but
Full send. Let's
Watching
and they
Mike
get
Winger-
worse. They get worse.
It gets worse?
watching
Oh.
Mike.
It gets worse. One
Oh,
of them even looks like as if it was almost New Year's Eve and you're getting ready for a first kiss. You know,
Oh
that
my
New Year's kiss, and it's like, are you serious, bro?
Did somebody bring the mistletoe?
Like how they're holding each other, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
what can you do?
Let's
Turn your
let's
ringtone off, Steven.
Yeah, I'm
geez,
sorry.
bro. Come
folks,
on, man.
I'm
You're messing
sorry.
up the show.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a busy guy. I'm a very important person.
Wow.
I'm a natural VIP.
You run your own business, don't you?
I do, man. I do.
Hey, man.
And it's I have no business.
Someone's got to get some beauty sleep every now.
I have no business running my own business.
Right.
I have no business running my own business.
So, where did that leave off at? How much more of that was he doing? Because I need to see how.
there's a bunch of
Do
different.
we want to see how far this goes?
I mean,
are we at
really, that one there was the worst one of it all.
Okay,
I think
'cause-
the other stuff is just stories that he's kind of just fantasizing.
Why does
about.
he do his hair like that?
I don't know, bro.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
But he
That's
said
the
beautiful
first
so many
sign of
times.
Schizophrenia.
I don't know, bro.
When you
There's
do
something
your
seems
hair
off
like
about all that. I've seen him before on different podcasts, and I've heard of him, but I've never heard of that bad of stuff go on. I'm like, that's kind of next level.
Oh, that text was wild.
Yeah, that was hard. That was rough, guys. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
viewers.
Watching
you had to
Mike
go through
Winger
that.
say that, it was so funny watching
was-
Mike
You know
Winger
he
talking
can't-
about moist
Yeah.
lips.
Oh,
Oh,
you can't keep a straight
Yeah.
face. I'm surprised he's keeping a more of a straight face than he is reading all that, man. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
that is
Oh,
so
man.
awesome.
dude, I kind of want to see a little bit more of that.
I'm
like,
sorry,
what's
it's
going
really
on.
funny.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
I mean, shout out to Mike Winger.
Yeah, dude.
You have a funny name. It kind of sounds funny.
Winger.
Yeah,
I
Mike's
mean,
winging it.
But he's got a cool
I
channel.
watch
name.
Mike. I watch Mike Winger.
Yeah, Mike's
he's
cool.
actually
Yeah.
he's got some good content.
Yeah,
It's
man.
real intellectually
Uh,
sound, and just he's just kind of like a really cool square,
yeah.
but like a square, just solid dude,
Straight shooter.
Yeah.
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 straight.
More straight
Yeah,
than.
he seems good. I wonder
More
what his
straight
take
than-
on. I wonder what his take is on like Genesis 6 and the Nephilim and all that kind of stuff. But, anyways,
I'd be interested to see what you guys think about this. This guy makes shorts. It's like Joe Christian guy. I forget his first name, but he's doing these TikTok shorts where he's like, if any atheist comedian did it, you'd be like, they're mocking Jesus. But he's a Christian, and so he's like acting like Jesus, and then like he's like what it would be like if you were growing up with as Jesus's brother. And the stuff that he does, I could see it being funny, but it's just like it's mockery.
Really?
Yeah. They try to
Share
hide
your
the
screen,
comedy.
play a video. Let's see it.
I don't have the screen. I can't do that, but I can
Do it
text
now,
it.
Joe.
Do it now.
Yeah, I wonder.
I
I
would
think there
text
is
it
a
to you.
share. I think you can share if you, at the
You
bottom
can
of your
share.
screen. Maybe
You
you
can share.
hit. Yeah, possible.
I'm not by. It's like way
Listen.
over there. I gotta
Oh, gotcha,
Again,
gotcha, gotcha,
the aspect.
gotcha,
but I
gotcha.
will,
Positioning.
I will text it to y'all.
There's
I mean,
no
you gotta
mouse
see this.
near you.
Interesting.
Um,
Okay,
Hold on, this
so this guy's out here.
here it
Yeah.
is. No. Yeah, he's out there mocking Jesus, and it's straight up. It's just the same jokes that you would see at any other comedian make about Jesus, but because it's a Christian guy do it, the comments are filled with like, "Oh, this is so funny! Do some more." It's like
Really?
it's like Jesus
That's
running
bullcrap,
on
dude.
water and like just like
Oh, I
I
think
don't know
know
how
who you're
to.
talking
That's
I
about.
playing
don't
with
know how to
fire, dude.
explain
Like,
it.
talking
dude, I'm all
about.
about them homeschool Christian jokes.
Oh.
But like, dude, there's a certain level to where you
Yeah,
just
well, people are chasing clout nowadays.
Yeah, I
dude.
know.
They're
It's
not
Yes.
really, and I
Yes.
think this is where it falls under biblical prophecy, where it talks about like in the end times, like people will become lovers of themselves, and
Mhm.
they'll become this type of person that doesn't really have a full grip on morality when it comes to like their decisions,
Right. I mean,
or they just don't care,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
they can play ignorant. And
if
just,
Jesus wouldn't laugh at it, I'm not laughing at it. I know he has a sense of humor, but like, you got to be careful, man, because he's the God of the universe too. You got to have some respect, dude.
I sent
Yeah.
it to you, Steven. I don't know if you can.
I got you.
see
Yeah, I see. I
It's-
see.
it- they're
Oh, jeez.
I can't explain them. They're just just
Ridiculous?
Just bring it up. They
Yeah.
are. I want to
Yeah,
know
yeah.
if you guys actually think as offended as if you guys were as offended as I was when I was watching them, because everybody in the comments, I don't know if he deletes them, seems like
It's okay.
it's the greatest thing in the world,
Jeez.
and it's like, oh, am I some
Really?
weird?
Yeah,
It's
Weird
like
dude over here?
it's almost like Bethel, like doing a Christmas play, like with like half naked people on there and saying, "Oh yeah, that's funny" or "That's great." It's just a show, like
yeah.
Yikes.
Well, dude, that there just made me think of the SNL show that was dropped
dude.
a month ago, right?
Yeah.
Jesse, break this down because you're the one that said something about it. I think on a few shows ago.
Do we
I
need to
can't
pull it up?
remember. I don't even. I think it might have been a couple of shows ago, but
I cannot stand SNL.
wow,
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't stand the Hollywood degenerates
know.
that are just throwing things out in front of religious figures like ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And doing these satanic rituals.
Right. They wouldn't joke about
can't- I
Muhammad like
can't-
that, though. Best believe that, you know. But as soon as they start doing
Sure,
Jesus
sure,
stuff,
sure,
they could just
sure.
joke all day, you know.
Yeah.
That's kind of
But-
funny. That's a good point, actually.
Because they
Very
would
good point.
get up straight up like for doing that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rituals are crazy.
Yeah.
And did y'all ever think about when you say a bad word? This is kind of pivoting a little bit. It's a curse word. Like it's a curse word.
Right.
Did you ever think about that?
I mean, I think there's like
it's like
a difference between cussing and cursing. Like cursing is like wanting death, and like, cursing is literally putting a
Right.
hex on someone, dude.
Right.
That's what
Right,
I
right.
think. But what are your thoughts?
Like,
yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I hope you die, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's
yep.
and then pairing it with other words, that would be cursing someone, like wishing death and evil towards someone. You know, I think any word can be bad as long as you're like is the intent behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Yeah. I went down a rabbit hole this week because I live in New England area and
Mhm.
people say wicked. And it's
Yes.
like wicked good. And it's just like
Yep. I grew up
It's-
saying that as well. I
it's
grew up
so
in New York
frustrating.
saying that.
sounds like some
Wicked.
Southern Baptist stuff. Southern
Yeah.
Baptist.
because you're turning something good into something bad. It's like flipping it. And that's the
Yeah,
whole
that's what they do.
satanic flip.
Yep.
Yes.
Friendlies.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that.
So this is the SNL skit.
Not very friendly.
I think this is it.
It is-
forgive
it
me
is
if it's the
that's-
wrong one, but this is it.
That's it.
All right, Lady Gaga.
Can you play this?
I think I can play this, right?
Copyright strike. No,
I
I'm just gonna, yeah.
Well, it's
Are
on
we
YouTube.
live right
It's
now?
on YouTube.
Let's run
it's-
it, dude.
It's on YouTube. I'm
Are we
pretty sure I
live?
can play this.
Yeah.
No, we're not live.
Let's
We're
run
not
it,
live.
dude. Yeah, we can always edit
That-
it.
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
We could see how it does in the checks.
No,
when
I
we
think it'll be
upload
fine.
it,
I think it'll
but-
be
okay.
fine.
Everyone's like, "What is their deal? Play it."
Right. Just press the
Listen,
play button.
guys.
Gosh.
There's a lot of things.
This is how we get
against
more view
us.
hours.
yeah.
All right. Anyways, this looks like a pizza joint number one, which is very interesting.
Or
Okay.
a Chick-fil-A for crying out loud.
You know,
It's a
there's
friendlies, guys. Jeez.
it's so funny. We said something related to pizza last show,
Oh,
and we
no.
can't get ads probably because of it.
Oh,
So awesome.
that's my fault.
Yeah, way to go.
That's
Way
okay.
to go,
It's
Jason.
my fault. I should have took the word out. Anyways, folks, I know you're dying to hear this.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, real quick, was one of you guys talking about a friendlies like
Jesse, were you talking
Yeah.
about
before
it?
the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Funny.
You should skip through this. And then they sing. So they sing the friendly song, and then the girl. Oh, she's got to tell it's her birthday. It's not really her birthday, but she's lying. So what she's doing right now, she's going.
Break it down. Break it down. Break it
It's,
down.
it's not my birthday, guys. And they're like, we just want another free Sunday, is what they're saying. And they're like, just lie to them and tell them it's your birthday. So skip ahead and play it, because then they figure out that she's lying.
Oh my gosh. So skip forward.
Yeah, right there. Right there's
Okay.
good. Oh, now she's lying. They found out she's lying.
Okay.
And
okay.
now the
so-
ritual
So it looks
starts.
like a ritual starting because this
Yep.
this girl lied. Okay.
Because she lied.
So initiation, right?
Initiation.
Right. So the transaction. It's like
Right.
that's it. The door's open. You're so
Right.
screwed. This
So
guy's
funny.
an idiot. This guy's gonna die, and this guy I think is gonna die.
Yeah,
trying to
exactly.
after he sees the first guy die.
It's not funny at all. It's so not funny.
Yeah. Anyways, there's one thing he says that I'm going to point out here later that is significant in my opinion. Oh my gosh. All right, so they're screaming what?
Sin.
Sin.
Yeah.
Oh, because you lied.
Which is a Christian
Sin is the
term.
lie. Right.
Which is a
right,
Christian
right.
term.
So much mockery
Right.
going on here too.
Yes, a lot of mockery. Right.
Man, I really wonder if we can put this up on the page, but I think we
Who
can.
cares? Run it.
Run it, baby.
Anyways, we're gonna run it.
Yep.
Red cloaks, right?
Yeah, red is like
Right.
a lot of
Red's
witches wear
blood.
red.
Lady Gaga in general, just even in the videos.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, her mentor is
So she's holding a cup, right?
Abramovich.
She's holding a cup.
Yeah, a chalice, if you say.
Right.
Yes,
right.
exactly. Yes.
Right.
Sam. There's a lot of
Yep.
symbolism
Golly.
going on. The
Joe,
service.
what are your
Nicolas
thoughts
Cage.
on this stuff, man? This
I'm
is
back.
He's like, I thought you never.
Oh
asked."
wait, you were gone?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez.
dude.
All right.
It's crazy.
Sorry.
This whole time we're just
You're
breaking
good.
stuff
Listen,
down.
we're rolling this SNL skit, and it becomes a ritual because this girl in the white decided to lie. There's no lying in the friendlies, so then this ritual is initiated, and everyone else is clueless around them and thinks it's just part of like a happy birthday skit or something from the friendlies. So we're gonna play this out.
Oh my gosh.
All right, you got demon.
That's crazy, bro.
You got demon fallen angels, bro, that are coming out with pentagrams on their chests,
Right.
and they're screaming out names, and they're
Sounds like a real
talking in
demon
in
name right
different
there,
language.
dude.
But it's a real language, folks. This is a real language. This is wild.
Jeez.
Lamash 2. Oh my goodness. Someone
Oh.
look that up and read that to me.
Okay, I got
Who's
it.
All right.
Lamash?
I wouldn't
2?
even say that out loud.
I know, I
I
don't
don't
even wanna
even
say
want to
that,
say
bro.
it, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
guarded
wait,
by
do it.
Jesus Christ, baby
Yeah.
boy. Let's go.
Jesus Christ, amen.
All right. Okay. So it's a Mesopotamian mythology. I'm not even going to say the name, but it was a demon goddess associated with death and disease. She was considered the most fearsome female demon, and her sole purpose was to inflict harm on children, women, and men. That demon was often depicted with the head of a lion, donkey teeth, a hairy body, and the feet of, I'm not even going to say that demon name. And she was said to kill children and consume the flesh of men while drinking their blood.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Sounds about Hollywood.
Wow.
Sounds about Hollywood.
Yo, do you
Sounds
think they
about
do? Okay,
pre-flood.
but do you think that is that Keenan? That's Keenan, right?
Yep.
Okay. Do you think Keenan knows who the name is? I don't really want to
The
say it, but
loser.
I think he purposely keeps out of it.
he's just acting.
Yeah.
He's
I think he
acting with
purposely
this.
goes.
I think all these
I'm gonna-
people know
I'm gonna
who it
keep
is and
on it.
what it is, and they know this stuff's real. But yeah, it's all
Nah.
clout.
No, I think they're all ignorant.
They might
really
be.
do.
I
There's
mean,
somebody
really?
in there that's drinking blood.
yeah, for real
Oh
though.
my
I feel like
goodness.
they're doing a real ritual right now.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'll shut
they're
up.
probably doing it
You-
right now.
seriously, though.
But
Jesse
You're
doesn't
probably
know
it's
what's
right.
comedy.
No, you're probably right. It's like I just don't. Keenan and Kel, that was like my thing,
Oh
man.
my
Bro, they're in
gosh,
on it too,
man.
bro. The whole thing is, man.
I know,
What was
but,
it?
but why do you think Keenan looks so young, dude? The dude's almost
Oh,
60,
he
bro.
does. He looks
the
looks
same
like
sipping
age,
on that-
bro.
That's why.
I think so. I think he puts it on his face, bro.
And
All right,
dude,
how
that
did you describe? Hold on. How did you
we
describe
gotta write down
Lamashtu?
words here that we gotta edit out.
right? There's gonna be a lot of
Yeah,
edits.
Lamashtu.
adrenochrome's definitely one of them.
Yeah,
Head
man.
of a lion, donkey teeth, hairy body, and feet of Anzu. Run it.
Ugh. Don't even like that. Wow. This is disturbing, bro.
Oh my
That is
god.
disturbing. How could you even laugh at that? Like, what's so funny about that, dude? Like, even if I wasn't a
Listen,
Christian, that's just not
This is on
funny.
SNL. This is supposed to be comedy, dude.
No.
Why can't this be at a burger joint where someone's like asking for food and then there's a funny skit?
It makes
Dude,
zero sense to
it
normal people.
does.
This whole skit makes zero sense to normal
Oh
people.
my
As a
goodness.
Christian, we're like looking at this going, Yeah,
They're
this
probably
is,
doing a real ritual right now, dude. For real.
I think so too. I think so.
Because
What
I'm
if
getting
this
those
girl's,
vibes
like,
right
in
now.
the-
I don't know about y'all, but
You know,
I'm
what's
getting the
so
vibes.
yeah.
You know what's so interesting is this young girl, right, who's in the act. I don't know who she is. She could be like an upcoming someone who's in the industry, but then all of a
Right.
sudden, like they're she's accepted and submitted to the will of the Illuminati, whatever that looks like,
She's
right?
probably doing the ritual
And
right
then
now.
and then they do a ritual to induct you right now, and this is the ritual, and it
Wow.
has something to do too, I think, with like thousands of people watching and partaking into it.
Yes.
We've talked about it on
Yes.
many
Sure.
shows where it has something to do with energy and opening up whatever it is
Humiliation
that they're
ritual
trying to
Yep.
as well. Like that's
Exactly.
another.
Yeah, that's a huge thing too.
Right. Exactly.
Well,
They try to really. A lot of people try to expose the humiliation rituals, and it kind of got swept under the rug because it got talked about so much the
Yeah.
last few years.
Yeah, oversaturated for
Yep.
sure.
Oversaturated. But in reality, it's a real thing.
Oh yeah, dude.
well,
This is wild.
we
All
just
right, I'm
plead the
gonna
blood
play
of
this out.
Jesus over everybody watching this in
Yeah,
Jesus' name.
Dude,
In
Taylor's
Jesus'
like,
name. Yeah.
hey, we're pulling security
Yeah.
protocol here.
Sorry,
like,
guys, we're
we
just
need to
gonna-
start
In
yeah.
Jesus
praying.
Christ's name, amen.
This is getting out of hand, which
Yeah.
I do think
Wow.
it is kind of getting out of hand. I think there is
Yeah,
some
dude.
things to
It's
this.
pretty wild.
Same thing with like A24 films. A24
Oh,
films are
yeah,
very
dude.
evil as
Yep.
well. So
Whoa.
boom, baby.
Whoa.
I
Sorry
love that.
about
That was
that.
perfect. Anyways,
Sorry about that.
cooking with gas.
Sorry
All
about
right.
that.
Definitely not
We're gonna
guys.
finish. This is terrible to say, but we're gonna finish this video and this
Yeah.
stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Oh,
Oh my
my
gosh. It's not even Halloween, bro.
Yikes.
Oh, real quick. Remember this little Asian guy that's kind of like pointless and he's
Yeah.
Didn't
has
he get
no-
arrested with Derek Chauvin?
I don't know, but this guy has no idea what's
Oh,
going on, and I think
sorry.
it's all part of the
Joe
act.
thought
But
that was funny.
this
Joe
is
got it.
I think the people
Look,
in red do. They have every. They
I
know.
want
what
to
is
play
going
this. I'm not going to play it back, but when the girl drank the blood, right?
on. Mhm.
And she drank the blood and she said something, or no. So she drank the blood and he goes, at least it's free, right?
Yeah.
Like at least the blood was free, right?
Blood of Jesus.
What's interesting is that's a mocker. And right after she drank the blood, you had Lady Gaga go ahead and saying like, you've been rebaptized
Yeah,
or
such
something,
Right.
a
right?
mockery, dude.
So there's this mockery of the Holy Spirit because
Mhm.
Right.
you know,
Absolutely.
the Bible talks about it's a free gift.
Yeah, it's a free gift of salvation, bro. That
It's
see
a free
everything they're
gift of
doing is just
salvation.
mocking
So
Jesus right now.
so when he's saying free,
People don't even understand.
it's
hilarious.
free. It's a mockery against the truth, and it's plugged in because Satan gets off on stuff
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like these demonic, the whole realm that's against Christ
Yeah.
gets off on things like that.
Of course. Joe, do you think they're doing a real ritual right now? You think they're just kind of
Oh, yeah. No,
It's
they're
same.
definitely doing a real
Yeah,
ritual.
that's why
I don't think a lot of them know what they're doing. I think they're just kind
I
of
think the priest said
in the Hollywood.
yeah, I think some of
Right.
them know, like the ones in red definitely know what they're doing, but the people not in red don't know. That's just my hunch.
The people who wrote this
Yeah.
are like they're
Oh.
Marina Abramovich
Yeah.
level.
Right.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah,
be.
Lady
what's going on.
Gaga's mentor.
Yeah, they're dropping
Literally.
all
Yeah.
these like demonic names and stuff, and I'm like the whole time.
And
I'm
you know
watching
they
this,
do
like,
these
ugh.
things in a public view
Yep.
in a way.
That's how
Like,
they
for
get their
example,
loosh to
they'll-
power.
Well, like for example, they'll have their parties, right? And
Mhm.
they'll have all these celebrities at these parties. It's a public event, right? And then there'll be what is it? Soul something? Soul
Like soul sucking,
harvesting
however you-
or
energy
or-
vampire type thing.
I forget what it's called, but like they're
You're
eating
talking
like
about the eating
food, but it's in the shape of a body, and it's like I don't know.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that stuff.
What's going on here?
Abramovich
dude? I mean, don't
type-
catch me messing with that, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
bro.
The spirit cooking.
Yeah, bro.
Yes.
They gotta
Spirit
put
cooking.
forehead to
That's
forehead.
what it is.
Do all
Spirit
these
cooking.
weird energy
man.
transfer stuff too.
My man.
And you know
so,
what's in that stuff too? You can't even say it on this thing, but that
Dang.
stuff is all goopy,
Yeah.
goppy, of all nasty.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna finish this
Ooh.
out here. We'll finish this out.
Goodness, this is rough.
All right, let's look that up. Mola Ram. This
Okay.
is disturbing, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
pissed.
getting weird vibes.
And I'm kind of like weird.
Forgot
Yeah,
about
there's
Mola
like
Ram.
evil vibes around.
Okay, it is. He was the priest of Thuji and the leader of a cult, serving as a Oh, hold on. Losing. Yeah, he was a leader of a cult. Molaram. Apparently, he was in a movie too. Off Indiana Jones. He was the guy pulling out the heart.
Ram.
Yeah, pulling out the heart of another guy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Like super
Yeah, he's a
demonic.
fictional character
Yeah,
who is the high priest.
he's a high
of
priestess. Yeah.
Thuggy cult.
Serving as the main protagonist.
Antagonist in the film Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom. Did he look like that though?
You know what's so funny too is like when they say you're reborn, it's almost like when they sell their soul and they
Yep.
become that.
This
whole
is the
new
Mola
world.
Ram from the original movie.
And so when she's being taken right now, I feel like that and where the point I'm making here is a lot of these celebrities, when they, especially artists in the music industry, they'll make music videos where they're portraying like their first self is dying in some way.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden
Right.
they become this new creation afterwards.
It's just
and
like
so
they
funny
mock,
to
like
point
when
that out.
celebrities they go in a water, like an episode of a water underneath water, and then come back up, and then they come out in white or something or red.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's destroying oneself. It's alchemy.
Yeah, it is.
It's alchemy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, that's in the movie Indiana Jones.
Jeez,
He's
dude,
recreating
this
the
is
scene.
crazy.
Jeez, bro.
He's recreating the Indiana Jones scene where he's doing all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard to watch, man. That's
Which
because you
that
can
is
tell
hard
they're
to
doing it for real.
which the Indiana Jones stuff was very, very accurate.
Oh yeah.
As far as the
I think there's a
Nazis trying
lot.
to, there's a lot of
Yeah.
accuracy and historical.
The Kali Ma stuff, dude.
value.
Like a lot of the
Oh.
cultists like worship that deity. Like a lot of them do.
Oh yeah.
I know
yeah.
some off
We-
rip right now that do, and it's like that's their main pagan goddess that they worship is Kali Ma. And if you look
Yeah.
at which I think somehow like Shiva and Kali Ma, like is there some similarities to that, Joe? Do you know? I don't know because
I don't know. I
they're
don't
like
know the
chaotic
Kali
gods. I think they're
Kali
Yeah,
one.
I've
There's
never
like a
even heard of that.
there's a
destruction
destruction
gods.
characteristic
Yeah,
behind them
and
or
that's the
something
one
like that, but-
behind CERN too. Is the Shiva one too? So that's kind of
Yeah.
ironic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things when it comes to like the Nazis and what they were seeking after, and we see all this kind of allegory
gods,
played
too.
in movies and all this kind of stuff, kind of
Mhm.
implying the Nazis were in seek of something. And to me, it just comes down to like knowledge. I'll
Yeah,
just
Lucifer's
generalize it
false
all as
light.
like knowledge,
Mhm.
whatever that consists of, and it's modernized and normalized in our day to day.
I really wanted to get into that tonight with Marzulli. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, we'll
I
have
don't
to
know.
reschedule with LA, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no doubt. But I was thinking earlier today, I'm like, it's so funny to me with the whole UFO disclosure. It's so funny how with the Operation Paperclip in 1945, and then the correlation with Operation Paperclip and the Roswell crash a year later. We talk about, we had Tim Constantine on. Unfortunately, me and Taylor weren't there for that podcast, but I
Yeah.
watched it, and I watched Tim on other episodes as well. it's funny, the correlation. It's like, did we take the Nazi technology of anti-gravitational technology, and were we developing that, and then we had that crash in Roswell? It's too close of a correlation for me. What do you have any take on that, Joe?
Well, I mean, anything to do with the Nazis, it's kind of especially lately with everything in the news, you kind of go down rabbit holes, and I do think there was something weird going on with some sort of, UFO or extra technology in the close proximity to what you're talking about. I could see it. It's just hard for me. I don't know. Until I see one flying right up above me
Right?
and beaming me up. It's hard.
Yeah.
I think what
So
I
you're more on the side of not even you don't even believe in it.
I don't even know. I think that if it was here, there would be far more war than there is. I think to keep something hidden that long, then you're talking. I do think things are demonic, and I do think Satan has his grip on this world, but the magnitude of where it would have to be in control for them to just absolutely maintain this cap around UFOs is just it's unbelievable.
I think what's fascinating about that is I think they're in control of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the
absolutely.
military is in control of it.
For now.
Absolutely.
But then
And
I
so
yeah.
this cap that you're talking about, it has so much clearance to it that really it doesn't matter who comes in office, it doesn't matter who's in charge and who wants to try and clean up. It doesn't matter. I think that there's these programs and there's this military technology to fabricate these things that look like UFOs or can be transitioned into it or maybe materialized and dematerialized. I think there's a lot of military projects and things taking place in the military that we have no idea about.
Yeah,
That we'll
absolutely.
100%.
we'll probably never have any idea about it, but I think they're behind a majority of it. Now, with UFOs, do I think there's a spiritual aspect behind it? Sure. Where else would we get the idea of trying to create
Yeah,
UFOs?
I think it's
Right?
both,
Like, where
man.
else would the military want to try and create this illusion of a UFO?
When I see
what
a
I'm talking
saucer,
about, Jesse, break this down a little bit because what I'm talking about is what Museum of Terror talked about.
Tara. Yeah,
Terror, right? Like I don't really know how to pronounce that word, but
you shouldn't.
I'm not like an occultist, right?
Yeah.
But shout out to that guy. He's a cool guy. Hopefully one day we can get him on the show. But he's on Danny Jones's platform. He's
Right.
breaking out all this research about what he's found and his conclusions to certain things. And one of the topics is that he gets into Stephen Greer, right? I mean, Joe, I'm sure you're familiar with Stephen Greer and the protocol he runs as far as like conjuring up these and summoning up these unidentified flying lights in the sky, which he kind of exploits and opens up a little bit to the public as far as like, hey, this is what really took place on this day, that this was filmed, that Stephen Greer filmed this, and there was these planes dropping flares out in the distance off of the horizon on the coast and all this kind of stuff. But he does also talk about, other than that, he gets into how the military also has had projects and is manipulating people with UFOs. And for example, one of the people that he talks about is Chris Bledsoe. And we've talked about Chris Bledsoe on this platform a couple times. And I think we talked about him on the Super Bowl
Yes.
Underground.
Yep.
And so
I think you talked about him with Jesse's dad as well.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we
Yep.
did.
Yeah.
We did. So this will open up the next part of the conversation, Jesse. Well, we'll get into how these people are being exposed. But anyways,
Yeah.
so Chris Bledsoe is this guy who is an advocate for UFOs connecting with these angelic beings and having this telekinesis kind of connection and this all this video footage and this experience with some sort of connection with these lights in the sky, right? This all comes after an experience he had with his son and another few other people or whatever in the woods. But
And his wife
and his wife too, right? But
that died in a car accident.
Museum of Tarot, he talks about that this could be a project that's being ran by the military to manipulate a narrative.
Yeah.
And to push a narrative and to push propaganda, which is what it is today. A story of a man who's seeing these UFOs and bringing this stuff to light and getting millions and millions of views. I mean, nation and worldwide. What are your thoughts on that? Like, what are your thoughts on the UFO narrative and that kind of atmosphere?
I think the UFO narrative needs to be, it also needs to have a cloaking narrative. Like you have to be able to have cloaking technology as well as UFO technology. So the reason really why I kind of sit on the fence and just like constantly wonder instead of hop on either side is because the consistency of all these sightings and the videos, they're just very inconsistent. They're all types and styles. They're you would think that there'd be like if you see a stealth bomber and an F-18, they're going to look like a stealth bomber and they're going to look like an F-18. So then you're talking about cloaking technology, and then maybe you're talking about like shape-shifting technology. So it's not just like the flying mechanism. You're actually talking about a cloaking mechanism on top of the system of which it would keep these things in check socially, where people wouldn't be able to find them out. So
Yeah.
I do think that there's something. It's just I fall more along the lines of deception and like just because it's like an
It's just
artist,
the main
right?
part of it. It's the main part of it, though, right?
Yeah.
Like the deception is the main part of it. I don't care what it is. You could put whatever you
Well-
want in the sky, dude. I don't care. It's meant to deceive
Slide a hand.
my faith.
Well, think
My
about
f-
all the
my faith
different
pers-
styles.
specific. Sure.
All the different styles. It's like artistic representation of some dude that's like producing a scene, a UFO scene. That's why I'm saying the consistencies aren't like these. Hey, this is a Apache helicopter, and it's always Apache helicopter. They're all like these different lights, different
Right.
movements, different
Tic
speeds. and it's-
Tac, the triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. There's a variety to it too. I think it's anything other than what we're normalized to. So if they can create any shape and they can present anything that's of UFO kind of artifact, it's going to be something that we naturally wouldn't see to fly. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever shape it is. What's funny about the whole UFO thing, when the UFO propaganda started, it started with a guy, I forget his name, but he was flying an airplane, said he saw something. This is where the flying saucer propaganda started. But in his statements, it wasn't a flying saucer. This was boomerang technology in its
Boomerang.
shape.
Forgot about that.
You know, I mean, I say boomerang because it kind of looks like it, right? But what did the Nazis, right? We were talking about the Nazis. What were the Nazis working on, right? And shortly after this comes Roswell, which kind of seeps into your story, Jesse. But not the Nazis were in charge of, or they were trying to create this aircraft that can go from like South Pole to North Pole, and or there's just like there's this travel capability with this plane, but it I'll try and look up what the plane is called, but it looks literally like what the guy said he saw.
Right.
So I'm gonna
Like a triangle boomerang kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen, you bring up an interesting point when you said it's not what you would normally see, and I would put that more on the deception side of things because they're going out of their way making stuff that you would not normally see flying through the air, so it's more impactful when you
Yeah.
do see it. So it's kind of interesting that you
So I'm
bring
gonna
that
try
up.
and show a picture of this. What I'm talking about. But continue.
Man, I tell you what, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff here in Vegas. One of the craziest things I've ever seen was a solid phantom black. I don't know, the blackest black you can possibly think of. A solid black orb sphere silently coast over my house and then go like 20 miles west, southwest, more so west, in seconds, in silence. I watched it do that. And speaking about cloaking, I've also seen, looking out over Red Rock Canyon, saucers pull up with a green light on the front of it, completely cloaked, like exactly like you would see from the movie Predator. You know, the movie Predator, the cloaking device
Yeah.
that he used. You could see it. That's the problem. It's like I can see you. You know, it's like I can still see you, but I mean, maybe cameras can. I don't know, but I've seen a lot of weird stuff out here in Vegas. But my conclusion with all of it is not aliens. It's the United States government. It's Lockheed Martin, Skunk Works. It's Bigelow Aerospace. Like it's these aerospace companies. Why I keep going back to this. Like put two and two together. Why is it that we had Operation Paperclip? We took all of the Nazis' technology, all of their scientists, and then a year later we had the Roswell incident. And I think
Yeah.
that's created their psychological operation since then.
Well, you
And I
know,
don't.
it's sorry, I don't mean to cut you off,
No,
but
no, no. Go ahead.
what's fascinating about that too is Annie Jacobson also talks about. She talks about the Roswell incident. She says she got some information from CIA intel that, and it was from it was personal from an actual guy who was a part of the cover up, and or that story, whatever you want to call it. But the story is that this guy told her that it was a Russian operation. It was it was technology that was highly advanced, but not too advanced. It's still within capability to like reverse engineer and all that kind of stuff. But it was these people that were inside that were not genetically, but they were surgically manipulated to look like aliens.
Right.
And so
Androids.
I'm wondering, dude, if there was already some sort of plan for some sort of alien operation to where they were going to try and create something or have an event to where it was like disclosure. Roswell wasn't supposed to happen, but maybe something else was supposed to happen down the line. Or maybe Roswell was
No,
supposed to
I
happen. I
think
don't know.
Roswell, in my strong opinion, I think Roswell is a part of the Blue Beam Project to psychologically,
To start
to,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
to start it.
To push the propaganda for UFOs and flying saucers specifically, right?
Yeah.
So LA, we were supposed to get LA on the night, but we got Joe with us, man. But he says he's recovered some metal from that site.
Oh yeah,
or
LA.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
he has
Yep.
proof of that, man.
well, I don't know if it's like super high tech metal or anything like that, but
It's
I mean,
foreign.
What kind of metal are we talking about?
It's
here?
nothing that this
Yeah,
earth
like
knows about,
it's-
apparently.
like it's some I don't know. I think they're running tests on it or whatever. It's some sort of alloy or something like that. It could be like down the road where it's more advanced than what we kind of understand today, but I don't think it's outside of creation of man. If that makes sense. Like we don't always have to like shout out to the skies that, you know, this is like alien tech. I'm wondering if we even have the capability and the minds to try and put together this type of stuff ourselves.
Or it's
Like,
old world tech.
Joe, what are your thoughts about, like, we know that there's this ritual stuff that takes place. There's this weird stuff that happens in the desert, man, and military is involved. Do you think it's possible that they could be like channeling, you know, some sort of like military operations, right? That they could be channeling, you know, knowledge on how to create these things?
Well, I see. We have historical evidence of aliens, in my opinion. If you look, whatever they are, if you look at like the Egyptian pyramids, you have all these old world things. If there was some sort of a civilization or being or something, they created all that stuff, or it was, you know, something in that era. And you won't find like strange machines. I think you're going to find it more of a spiritual, harnessing the energy from the cosmos, and you're going to be dealing with different stuff. I think man's technology is metal, is metal in machinery. But when you look in the past and you see what might have been, it's really not reflective of the future of our technology. The future of our technology seems um electronic, and it seems more based on our societal norms in technology. But I think it was far more spiritual and far more just weird. I think
Yeah,
weird is the
yeah.
good
I was
word.
talking to Jesse about that today or something. You know, these pyramids, these ziggurats, these megalithic structures that I think archaeology has their view on a lot of it. I think, you know, the Bible has its view on what could have created these things in ancient days. To me, I think it was like antediluvian period. I think these things were created in a period that is done. It's destroyed. It's washed away. There's no more remnants of it. It's deep in the ground. It's probably
Besides the
oil by
pyramids.
now. But the pyramids, right? And and I think they were antediluvian period built structures where there was this acceleration and just this explosion of mystic knowledge, this mysticism that was coming from Cain's lineage, you know, spread around the world. You know, and this kind of gets into like the whole day six creation. I wanted to get your thoughts on that too, because it's kind of a topic that's interesting to talk about. With the In Genesis, it's talking about day six. It's talking about day six creation. Man and woman are created, and they're able to go and eat all of the fruit and all the everything on the land, right? And and then you have this account in Genesis 2 where God creates Adam and Eve. And so are are those two the same things? I was interested what your thoughts are on that, because we've had some people on the show that give their breakdown of what Genesis
So is
and day
Genesis
six.
6 and Genesis 2 talking about the same? Is that
So
what
this
you're
is where you have like you see man created on day six, day seven, right? God rests, and then well you see man and woman created. Then you have Genesis 2 where Adam is created and all this kind of stuff. Some people believe these are separate accounts. And what interests me behind the separate accounts is that, you know, the day six creation kind of, I see it as like uncontacted tribes, very similar to how we have uncontacted tribes in our day to day, where they're hunter gatherers. They're very like they're rooted in this different way of civilization. And then you have normal civilization where there's a lot of high technology and all this kind of stuff. I'm wondering if it was similar in the past.
Why do they think it was different?
Well, because you have Cain that leaves the garden. He goes out and builds cities and has wives and all this other stuff, where the account of the genealogies in Genesis is specific, and it doesn't speak anything outside of, Seth or Cain. Well, I mean, like as far as I'm sorry, it doesn't speak anything as far as Adam and Eve having more children, which it's possible they could have, but like who did Cain go out and
Right.
take wives? Who did
Yeah,
Cain
he
go
was.
out and build
He went out and built
cities? Who did
cities,
he
right?
teach? Who did he teach to do these things, right? Like
Right.
Gary
Oh, they
Wayne, we've
had
had
more
on
kids though, bro. Think about it. His
Sure.
testosterone was through the roof. Super healthy, eating good. Oh, come on. He was
Eating
having
good.
But
kids
this
all
is my
day,
thing.
dude.
This is my thing too. Like the Bible's like very specific on who's born and who is born from them. And there's this book of genealogies and these bloodlines. There's the bloodline of Cain, there's the bloodline of Seth, and there's this separation. There's these people that are specifically put in there. I can only choose to say that, that Moses was putting it, or, who wrote it is putting it in there specifically. And it's pertinent. And yeah, I agree with you. Like, Adam and Eve, they had many more children. But something is making me feel like this was a creation that was separate from the garden creation. And then when the people from the garden were casted out or dispersed of, you had this race of same humans, it's just more knowledge, like heavenly knowledge, more like like you walked with God type knowledge.
Yeah.
And this is where you get a lot of, like, at least from the traditions of like Freemasonry and all this stuff, like they root it all the way back to Cain, which Cain got it from learning. Well, Cain didn't. Let me rephrase this. Cain went out and taught this other style of knowledge when he was in the garden, from what he learned in the garden. So he took this concept of knowledge and twisted it and turned it into the occult. Is kind of like what we understand it today. And so I don't know. What are your thoughts on like the day 6 stuff, or are these people all from the garden? Is it the same thing? Same? Curious.
Honestly, I would probably have to dig into it. I've actually been on I've been really digging Samuel 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel, 1st and 2nd Samuel. I don't know if you've ever done studies on Samuel, but it's probably my
deep.
favorite books. It's my favorite books of the Bible. It's so
Really?
crazy. So it's wild, dude. It's wild. It's
Yeah.
really, truly wild. Do you
Yeah.
know David fought against Israel?
Oh wow.
He fought against Israel and killed
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
20,000 Israelites. King
Yeah.
David did in his life. It's weird, man. I didn't know a whole bunch of this stuff. But
Oh wait, he fought for Israel too.
oh yeah, no, he was the king of Israel. But
Oh
he,
my god.
well, his son Absalom, ended up conspiring behind his back. He would stop people on the road and be like, "No, you don't want to talk to David. Talk to me. David don't have time for you." And he did this for 2 years. And David didn't really know what was going on. And then he was like, yo, let me go to Hebron. Absalom was like, let me go to Hebron over here and let me go lead some stuff because they need me. He said, God is calling me over here. And so then he goes to Hebron and he convinces everybody in Hebron that he's like the bomb. And so basically he flips half the nation for him to basically have this large army. So then they were going to fight each other. He ends up, I don't know what's going on with the sirens. He ends up
they're
fighting.
going to work.
Yo,
They're right here.
They're right
He ends
there.
up-
Snap.
The
Yeah.
house is on
Yeah,
fire next to him. He's like, yo, I got a podcast.
Come on, guys.
Sorry.
Well, it's crazy because he ends up fighting his son, and David's like, okay, basically he's like, yo, just go to war, right? Here's my army, you go to war. But it's against his son, and he's like, just keep Absalom safe. But his commanders are like, nah, bro, I see Absalom, he's dead. And so Absalom ends up losing the battle. He's riding out on his horse, goes under an oak tree. His hair gets caught in an oak tree.
What?
And his horse runs under, like goes away, and he's hanging from an oak tree. And this guy and this guy's like, yo, David's son is hanging in a tree. He's like, what? Why didn't you kill him? And he's like, dude, David said not to touch him. And then Joab's like, oh, screw
Wow.
this, and
Oh,
stabs him
gosh.
and kills him.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
crazy. Samuel's nuts.
You know
dude.
what's crazy, man?
wow.
You know, the Bible has so much war.
Jeez.
The Bible has a lot of war in it, and it
Yep.
makes me think, right? Like, you know, I mean, especially with God giving commandments to kill and to do these things which were necessary, right?
Time for peace, time for war.
I think that war is just a part of life.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
Yeah.
war is a part of life. There's a physical expression of war, and it's dirty and it's terrible.
Yeah, man.
You're at war
Um,
with your flesh every day.
But you're at war
honestly.
with your flesh,
Big
man.
time war.
There's war. This reality is found. Its foundation is probably war today, with people's lusts and
Mhm.
them
Yeah.
wanting certain things. And
That's why I think the new covenant is so important for
oh
people.
yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely.
The Old
And, you know,
Testament is definitely a different attitude. Like it's just absolutely
Yeah.
a whole different ball game when it comes to like stories and
Yep.
the sentiment behind it.
And-
It's
Yeah.
wild.
People get so upset because they're like, oh, well, God was such an evil, wrathful God and stuff like that. I'm like, no. There's reasons, because people are literally, you know, giving their kids to Baal and Moloch, and there was even tribes that were not even human. There
Those
were
times
Nephilim
were so
tribes.
terrible, dude.
terrible.
Those
They're pretty
times were
bad.
so terrible.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he said get rid of the women, men, and children, is because they weren't even humans. They were Nephilim, the offspring of that too. So I was like, that's why
Sure.
he said get rid of them all, you know? So I don't know. People get upset.
Yeah, David was boss. You know, David went and seen this chick and he was like, oh, I got to get that. And he got that. And then he killed her husband
Yeah.
and then married her.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa,
Yeah.
dude. I feel good about my bad
You
days.
feel me? Like, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
bro. Like,
I feel
Right.
good
all
about
these
my bad
characters in the
days.
Bible are doing some savage stuff. And I'm like, dude, it makes me feel a little less bad sometimes. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, well, at
Yep.
least I'm not doing that, you know?
Yeah, that's
Pretty
wild.
wild, dude.
That is wild, man. That
People
is
could say,
wild.
oh,
Yeah, it's a
he's not a
different. It's a
Christian,
different
man, but-
time, man.
Yeah.
It's a
It
different
is.
time.
It's a whole different era, man. Glad I'm in this one, but this one
Yeah.
kind
Right.
of sucks too. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's about to be World War III. And
you
all
know,
the-
but we can only cleave to Christ, man, and
Yeah.
you know,
Amen.
just build our spiritual strength, man, and build that relationship up so high so that, you know, none of this stuff in the world can kind of consume you, which it seems like it's
You live or
it's,
die, it's
uh,
gain.
it's motivated to consume you. But
Yeah.
yeah, Joe, we're gonna have to cut this show a little short tonight, but we appreciate you coming on, man. Taylor's got to shoot out; he's got to head to work.
Yeah.
But you know, glad we can count on you, man, to come on and conversate with us and have a good time and talk about some interesting topics. We talked about Micah this episode. It wasn't a poop party against him, but
Yeah.
you know,
Eh.
some things to have a conversation about that I think should be
He might
viewed
like poop
by
parties.
I know,
others.
dude. I'm just going to say.
He may. And
Literally what we're all
Moist.
thinking.
I can't really say nothing else because it's just going to be play on. So,
Yeah, dude.
Joe, real quick, where they could, the audience can find your work, man, and where they can catch you on YouTube.
Rebel to Redemption, put it in your YouTube browser and press enter, and you'll see a bunch of videos, faith-based videos, and you'll see me do reaction videos to this channel and a whole bunch of other stuff. That's it.
Awesome, man.
Nice.
Well, thanks
Nice.
for coming on, dude. Folks, you can check us out on audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, pretty much on everything, and Spreaker as well. If you're on the YouTube side of things, you haven't done so already, smash that subscribe button, like the show, share it with your friends, and we appreciate you for tuning in to this episode of the Biblical Hitman. We'll see you next time.